think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
All hands back in battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
And hello, everybody. This is not Tom Trento. I'm a body double sitting in for him.
Yay, Tom's
He
back.
is, no, it's not me. It's not me. He is much better looking than me and much more intelligent than his body double here. But he can't be with us again. No, it's me.
It's you.
It's really me.
It's really
Hi, everybody.
You. It's really you.
We have been away we left on September 30th. J. Mark Campbell and I. Let's bring him in. There he is. All right.
Hey, hi everybody.
Where's CJ? Everybody wants to know. It's her show. Where's CJ? It's her show.
Well, she was supposed to be, but that's when I'm dressed in my dapper
Yeah, I know.
attire here. Hey, Mark, we need you to fill in. Oh, okay.
No, CJ needed a little time off today. She's been pulling triple
That's right.
duty.
She has been.
And we have a big day tomorrow, Friday, the 22nd. We're going to do an interesting look at 50 years, the assassination of JFK. We have some key people on who are going to tell us where they were on November 22nd, 1963. I sent out an invitation for several people to come on the show tomorrow, and I didn't do the math. And some of the people I invited were 1 year old.
What were you doing?
Yeah.
What were you doing, Mark?
Alan Kornman, he wrote back, I was in my diapers eating and pooping.
But did
He
you
really, I said, great, good interview, man. It'd be a great interview. So we will have some interesting people tomorrow.
As well as
sharing.
I, Tom. I was eating.
Yeah,
and
you were
pooping.
there, yeah. I'm a little older than these guys, so I kind of was coherent.
Who are you older than?
It was roller skating, actually. I went roller skating that night. But anyway, 21 November today, a little bit after 3 o'clock, about, is that clock accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where did we start on?
Who knows?
Oh, I'm the one. I'm the one.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 or 3? We started
Four.
at 1, so it's
Well,
3.
it's at we're on the 1.
Okay.
We're on the 4 now.
Okay. 4 minutes after 3 p.m. on the East Coast for our good friends out in California. Yes, we had a time change a couple of weeks ago for a lot of reasons, one of which we get a bigger and stronger signal in this time of the year in South Florida. So you're listening and watching on either www.nnradio.com, teapartycommunity.com. You can watch.
That's right.
On the United West, you
Great
can
stuff.
watch on your iPads. You can watch on those websites, iHeartRadio. You can listen anywhere in the world. And got a lot of cool stuff going on. Today's show, we have a special guest on the line right now, Skyped in. We're going to go to her in a second because we're giving the one-armed paper hanger there,
there you
back
go.
there. Damon's cool.
Damon's got it. He's
We're
rocking
giving
and
him a minute
rolling,
to get
man.
his life together.
Damon's rocking and rolling.
Usually
man.
Mark is behind the camera.
That's right.
But he said, I want to be on the camera.
I want to be on the
wanna
camera.
be cool
Tom,
like
Tom,
you,
I've been,
Tom.
please give me
You
a
know,
shot.
can I
I
do
just
that?
need one
So I
shot.
said, all
He
right.
saw what it did for CJ's notoriety.
I said, okay, come on up here.
Please, please, please put me on the camera.
I said, take your tuxedo off and put on the grungiest, whitest shirt you can find, and let's go do a television show. Okay?
I'm all in. We got it, Tom.
We have some new viewers today because I've been talking to some of them. We have new viewers every day, viewers and listeners. So we
I
thank
got
you
new
for
viewers
tuning in.
on Saturday at the Tea
Yep.
Party event that Karen and Billy were at.
We're going to give you an overview, folks, of where we've been over the past almost 2 months and why we are out on this maniacal campaign to awaken Americans to the cultural crisis we're in, the Islamic Jihad, obviously, but also the Obama Jihad, because there's no difference in Obama's jihad against Americans as the Islamic threat. Both are designed to harm America and knock it down a bit. We'll talk about that and why we're running around the country, different places. But right now, special event this weekend. Today's the 21st. Tomorrow, Friday, the 22nd. So 23rd, 24th. This weekend, there is an extremely unique event in I guess it's still South
Stewart.
Florida. Yeah, is that South Florida? Yeah, it's still South.
That's South Florida.
Yeah,
Yes, it
from
is.
Orlando
That's the Treasure
down.
Coast, I believe. Is
Yeah,
that be
Treasure
considered the Treasure Coast?
Is our special guest and our occasional guest host and our future show, the Vaughn Show,
she
the
is.
Karen Vaughn Show. Mark, give the stumble. You look
That's my
like
first day. I know, I got to get all excited.
you look like the mayor from Toronto. I'm watching you in the corner of my. Have you seen that lunatic? He's doing all this stuff in the chambers there, he's a character.
See, you want me on? I
How's
told you I
this
wanted.
segue from Toronto to Vaughn? How's
There you
that?
go, there
Hi,
you go.
Karen Vaughn. How are you?
Hey Tom, hey Mark.
There you are.
Hey, Karen. how
Oh,
you
you're
doing?
in your shipping department, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm in the shipping department.
With your
Yes.
piano in your shipping department. That's good. That's very good. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. How are you after all your travels?
We're doing well. We were out of town Saturday. We were in Washington, D.C.
Yes, we were in
Otherwise, we would have been in Fort Lauderdale, where you and your husband, Billy Vaughn, did a wonderful presentation on the new book. You got a copy of the book? Hold it up.
Yes.
Hold on.
Where's the book?
You go to the shipping department.
Hey, shipping receiving department. Deliveries.
Deliveries, yeah.
And roll back over here.
There
Okay,
we
here we
go.
go. Okay, tell us about the book and tell us what's going on this weekend, please.
Okay, yeah, Betrayed. It's doing really well. Billy is, as most of your viewers and listeners probably already know, Billy finally decided to write down in words what we've experienced over the last 2+ years since our son Aaron lost his life in Afghanistan.
All right.
And all the title kind of says it all, Betrayed. The
Right.
shocking true story of Extortion 17 is told by a Navy SEAL's father, and really there's nothing funny about that. We wanted to write the book to get the word out across the nation because we just weren't having enough, it wasn't effective enough to just go from meeting to meeting. We need America to know about what's happening to our warfighters right now. So putting that aside, and kind of speaking of it at the same time, this weekend our family and friends are gearing up for the 3rd Operation 300 camp, and it is 4 times larger than any camp we've done before. And we've got families that are arriving today and tomorrow, and we'll be here through Sunday night for an extreme adventure camp out in the middle of nowhere here in South Florida. One thing really exciting about this camp, and let me back up. This camp is for children of fallen soldiers, so that's why I say it's kind of the same story as what we're talking about. There are way too many fallen soldiers. There are way too many children whose fathers and mothers have died because of this war, many of them needlessly, the same way that our son Aaron lost his life.
Okay.
One really special thing about this weekend that's going to be incredible, and I think it's why the list got so big so fast, is the Gator Boys are coming to spend the weekend with us here in South Florida.
Who are the
So
Gator
this
Boys?
is going to be pretty cool because we do have gators in the ponds out on the farm where we bring the boys. Yes, we do.
So the Gator Boys are they actually gator hunters or what are they?
They actually have a television show.
Oh,
Mark.
I've seen
I-
that. I've seen
You've
that.
seen those
That we're
guys.
Those
not
guys
in-
are crazy.
Crazy.
How'd you get those guys?
Listen, there is a man that was at the Fort Lauderdale Tea Party last time we were there. His
Who I
name is
met.
Billy Beaver, and he's personal friends with the Gator Boys.
Oh.
And so he made the connection, and Billy's been helping us out this week getting the property ready. He's out there mowing today, actually. And he contacted his friends who are the Gator Boys, and they are going to join us at this camp. And let me tell you, we've got 27 young boys coming
Wow.
into this camp.
Wow.
We're bringing in their mothers and all of their siblings, and for the first time, we are so excited to say we're hosting 7 young girls at this camp as well. So we have,
Very cool.
in the mid-30s, children coming in for the camp and their mothers as well. So this is going to be quite the weekend.
And for those of you who do not know the Gator Boys, we just put a graphic up. I was somewhere in a hotel thumbing through the shows, and these 2 guys are, and down here in South Florida, we all have ponds or canals, and there's gators in all of them. And when you have when you see a gator, you call animal control.
Animal control.
Well, these guys, animal control calls these guys, and these guys jump in the water. And they kind of like sniff out the gator and they go, I think he's over here. And they're walking, and you see the gator's head, And it's like, they're going to get eaten at some point, but hopefully not before this weekend, because that'll
Not
be.
on this weekend, please.
Hopefully not. Yeah, really.
No, I mean, they know what they're doing, but it's crazy stuff.
If they didn't, they wouldn't still be here.
They wouldn't be here, exactly. All right, now for folks that may not be as familiar, as most of our viewers and listeners are, some of the new folks, Aaron Vaughn, Karen and Billy Vaughn's son, was a member of, he was a SEAL, but he wasn't just a SEAL. He had advanced to Dev grew to the top tier operator, SEAL Team 6, and operated at that level. These are the elite of the elite.
He was the SEAL's SEAL.
Yeah, the SEAL. And on August 6th, 2011, just about 90 days after May 1st, 2011, when SEAL Team 6 killed Osama bin Laden, the Taliban shot down a helicopter in Afghanistan in a particular very dangerous area, and
War Dunk Prophets.
38 people were on board, 17 SEAL Team 6 members, and then SEAL support staff, and then other military support staff. They all died. And from day one, Karen and those of us involved always questioned the operation and the government's investigation of it. Well, this book is a interesting dive into Karen and Billy's experiences with the United States government and others, trying to get to the bottom of this, not only for the resolution that parents want, but so that they could participate in any corrections or modifications in the government, so that this doesn't happen again to these brave men and women. So just briefly, Karen, are you making any headway with the government and the rules of engagement and all of those issues?
I will tell you that, advancement is subtle, and you have to take your victories where you get them. And I will say that we had a major victory this week. I wish I could remember his name, and if I had prepared a little bit, I would have had this for you. But a high-ranking general came forth this week and said the coin strategy is a failed strategy, and it's causing us great losses in Afghanistan. Tom, I'd like to believe that is because of this book. Because this book literally calls out military leaders and says, if you can't lead, get out of the way, and please allow somebody to step up who will lead, who will defend our defenders. So, I see things like that. We're getting a lot of emails from retired SEALs, from family members of active Navy SEALs, from Army Rangers, and from a lot of general purpose enlisted forces who are writing us and saying, thank God somebody is finally telling America what's happening. And we've even gotten word that some changes are being made in theater because of the stir that we and all the people who are demanding answers for the loss of Extortion 17. So many voices out there now, including you guys there at the United West. The voice has gotten loud enough that people are giving us feedback that it is making a difference, and some commanders are getting a little more stubborn in following these rules, a little more strength in saying no to some of the nonsense. And we're hearing good things, and you know what? That's all that matters, because like you said, there is nothing in this world that will bring Aaron back to us. Nothing we do, no effort we put out. Aaron's gone.
But
what we can do is we can make a difference and try to prevent somebody else from sitting in our seats right here as parents who have lost somebody they love so much, or a wife or a child who's lost a parent or a spouse. We can prevent that, Tom, and we want, and Mark, and we want America to be as outraged as we are over what we found, and we're getting a lot of feedback that they are, in fact, that outraged over it. So we're really encouraged right now.
And I can tell you this, knowing Karen personally and knowing the Vaughns for quite a while now, this is not something they wanted to do. This is not something that they even cared to do. This is not something they had no desire to do. Their son's been killed in action. The last thing they want to do is, continue on. But what did they do? They picked up his trident, they picked up his axe, and they went out and started fighting for themselves in honor of their son. And if you have any shred of compassion or anger about the situation, get out there and buy that book from them and support them. I mean, they desperately need it. They're they're parents, trying to alert others so that their sons don't get killed.
And don't just read it and pass it on.
That's right.
Or buy
Absolutely.
2 copies of it.
Buy
Seriously,
copies.
this couldn't be any more important.
How could they get a copy, Karen? How do they do that?
They can go to forourson.us
Right.
and buy a copy directly from us.
And that's the best way to do
or
it.
It's also available on Amazon in the Kindle version and paperback version, whatever's easiest. You access that route. But For Our Son, FOROURSON.us is the direct route to our shipments and our sales.
And you get a lot better percentage on the book where Amazon
We
takes
do.
a
We
huge-
do a little bit better if it goes through our site. We do, yes. And you
Okay.
know what, Mark? I appreciate you saying that so much because, a self-published book is not going to set up Billy and I's nest egg.
Right.
That's never been the purpose of this book. Yes, we want to fund what we've been doing for the last 2 years with no funding. Of course we do. We've dedicated our lives to this fight, and we pray that this book allows us, financial resources to keep traveling, to keep meeting with small groups, to keep going across the country screaming, to keep making trips to Washington, D.C., yelling at our congressmen and women to do something for our troops. But, we didn't write this book to get rich, and most likely that will never happen. And I appreciate you saying that because it is, we have already had those slurs thrown out there,
I know.
and it's nonsense. And like you said, this is the last thing that we wanted to do. But it is so important. The story is so important that I'll take whatever somebody throws at me, frankly, because it's more important than them or their crappy attitude.
And throw in an extra donation while you're there too, just
Yeah.
for good measure.
Yeah, you can go to the site FOROURSON.us. Go to the site, order the book, and then there's a little donate button there. It's tax deductible, so you can also make a donation. And you ought to buy 2 books and give one to somebody for
It's Christmas
Thanksgiving,
time.
Christmas.
or for
There you go.
Hanukkah, or for Christmas. Okay, we got all
And
kinds
share
of
it,
There you
share
go.
it.
days
After
coming
you
up.
read it, share it. And one thing I'm asking people to do is buy a copy for your library. Put it in your library. Take a copy to your school and try to get your school to put this in their library. Those are the places we've got to start influencing the part of society that will never watch this show, that will never watch any conservative news outlet. We want to try to get this book into places where people will see it that wouldn't normally access it otherwise. So put a copy in your library. When Lone Survivor came out, Marcus Luttrell's story from Operation Red Wings, I bought 7 copies, hardbacks, and put them in my library in Aaron's honor here in our hometown. Those books were on a waiting list for like 5 weeks. You couldn't get your hands on one of the 7 books. So I encourage people to do that. Get it in your schools. Get it in your public libraries. Make sure people are reading this story. It is an American story. It's not a Democrat or a Republican story. It's an American story.
Amen.
And
And if you want to see what makes us seal, there she is, right on your camera right there.
And Lone Survivor, Marcus Luttrell's story, which the book you bought 7 copies and put them in the library. The movie is coming out in about a month or so. And ironically, a lawyer who represented me is representing him in his movie deal. It's a great movie. I've seen some clips on it. And so who knows, maybe Betrayed someday. But movie or not, particularly for Christians out there, there's a very serious theme. The Vaughns are serious evangelical Christians. Aaron, SEAL Team 6, was a very serious Christian and was able to be a top-tier warrior, also balancing his faith in Jesus Christ and love for his country and his desire to protect Americans and others. So that theme is ingrained throughout the book. So even
Exactly.
more importantly, reasons why you should get it. All right, Karen, we got to let you go. I know you got a lot of work for the weekend. Take a lot of pictures. We'll have you back either next week, it's Thanksgiving week, or the week after, to do a review of what took place on Operation 300.
Can't wait. It's
And
going to be
also,
an amazing
are you
weekend.
are you available for speaking engagements and book signings and things like that?
We are. We're scheduling those as we speak. We're putting things on the book right now all the way into March. So yeah, contact us on the website. There's a place to email us if you'd like to bring us in for a book signing or a speaking engagement. We are absolutely booking that right now.
Right, great,
Okay, and we can,
fantastic.
when we want to talk to you, we can call you, or do we have to call your assistant from now on?
Yeah, well, you know, pretty soon our people are going to, no. I'm sure
Have
it'll
your
always
people
be
call my people.
Karen. Not Billy, call Karen. Yeah.
Goodbye, Karen.
Bye, Karen.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful
Have a great
day.
day.
We'll
Thanks.
see
I
you.
love
Take
you.
it
Bye.
easy.
Bye.
Karen Vaughn, folks, and for the record, when Aaron got killed August 6th, 2011, he was living, his folks live about an hour from where I was living, and I watched the news reports, and
Right.
something just touched me about this on many levels, the Christian level, other levels. I went to his memorial service
Right.
at Martin County High School, 2,000 people packed out, and that was in late August. And in January, the United West was sponsoring a salute to our military because President Obama had hurriedly ended the war in Iraq, pulling everybody out by 2011, irresponsibly so. Whether you agree we should have been there or not, we were pulled out irresponsibly so by this president so that he can try to fulfill a bogus campaign promise. You see how that's gotten him. So we put together in January, the United West, a salute to our military up at the state capitol in Tallahassee. And we got in touch with the Vaughns and had Billy Vaughn come up there and speak. We got to replay that talk he gave on January 10th, 2012. It really started a lot of this stuff. We got to know him, and a month later we were leaving 8 members from the United West for Israel on a national security behind-the-scenes tour of Israel studying suicide bombers and their ideology and methodology. And ironically, through a series of unique, semi-miraculous events, both Karen and Billy were able, through donors, to get the money to come with us to Israel. So we spent 2 weeks with them in Israel in February, right after we met them, and that had just solidified the bond between us for all these
Dana,
years.
that one.
So there's Billy. Look at that. There's Billy's picture in Tallahassee up on your screen in a second. Nope. That's Tom right here. This is Mark over here. While we're getting that up, okay, there it is. That's the picture of Billy Vaughn, January 10, 2012, speaking at the old Capitol, the historic building in Tallahassee, in our program, saluting the military. Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin was with us and a whole bunch of other outstanding people. What do we do, folks? The United West is a counterterrorism educational organization.
Educational.
Educational. And our desire is to, again, affirm the Constitution, to stand with Israel, to
Right.
defeat the jihadis, and to defeat President Obama, because we haven't found anything, any area where we agree with him on policy, certainly not on national security or even domestic
I'll
security.
give it a 0, Tom.
That's a 0, okay. That's what we're all about. We teach, we write, we use the digital airwaves to produce videos. We go out confrontationally, confront the bad guys, do exposés. And of the past year, thanks to your donations, and we need them, the tank is empty right now. We need to fill it up for 2014. We have this show. It's on 3 p.m. every day. It focuses on national security issues primarily. And we do it in such a way that there's a little entertainment value to it.
It's
make
edutainment.
Yes.
We
And
make jihad fun.
we make jihad fun because we have our own in-house imam. Where is he these days?
Oh, I
Where
am
is it? Where
right
is it?
here, Mr. Trento, right here, my favorite. It is so good to have you back.
Abdullah, Imam Abdullah, we actually missed you.
No,
We did.
we did.
no, I do not believe.
Were you hanging out with the new mayor? Is that what you been doing, Emo?
Oh,
The new
no,
mayor.
I have not. You have not been here.
But I heard a rumor you may be running for a political office.
Oh, it is not rumor.
Oh. Do you know what office it may be?
Oh, I
interface
most
of-
certainly do.
What is it?
Imam Abdullah, I fool you, you fools, will be running for Lieutenant Governor of the state
No way.
of
No way.
Florida.
You're running for lieutenant governor?
Yes, this is the
Why
beginning
don't you run
of
for
my
governor?
political...
Why don't you run
Because
for
I
governor?
like the militant sound of Lieutenant Governor much better. I believe it gives me control of the army as well. I
can
get
you do
that.
that?
I believe
Is that an elected position?
as a lieutenant governor, I am in charge of the Florida National Reserve. I think.
Okay.
But is that an elected position?
Oh, it is now.
Oh, so you can run for it. Okay,
Okay,
well,
all right.
breaking news, folks.
yeah.
Imam Abdullah Fool You Fool is running
Me
for
fool.
office in the state of Florida.
Florida.
When is that, 2014?
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, less than a year away. He's running
Oh,
for
very
Lieutenant General.
exciting.
We got to
I
get.
don't know if you
Do
even
you have any endorsers for your candidacy?
Oh, yes, I got my very first endorsement yesterday.
Really?
As a matter of fact, yes. If you
Broward-
look at this, I do not know, but here is a Broward's Sharif talks about Islam faith, says many Broward Muslims quite relieved Osama killed.
Broward Sharif. Does that mean Broward Sheriff or Sharif?
No, Sharif, this is woman's name, you silly man.
Oh. Sheriff.
Broward County Commissioner Barbara Sharif. So she's a Broward County Commissioner. The way this
Oh,
works.
much more now, my friend.
Right.
Broward County, for those of you geographically challenged about the state of Florida. Where are we here? Oh, here's the state of Florida. I go over here this way. Over here, where Tom's finger is. Right down there. Fort Lauderdale is in Broward County.
Oh, not for long.
You gonna change that?
That will be moving.
Okay. And that's the big city in Broward County. It's a big county. And one of the county commissioners, Barbara Sharif, this week was elected mayor of Broward County Commission.
Fantastic.
But I thought she ran as a Christian.
I don't know. It's very, very interesting what's going on here because there are, as many people know, many may not know, Florida was a launching pad for 9/11. The state of Florida housed about 15 or so of the jihadists that did their deed in New York and the Pentagon and in Shanksville. And many of them are right around where we are. In Broward County, they were down in Broward County, all factual information. There are jihadis who have been arrested in Broward County since then. We know there are Hamas and Hezbollah cells in Broward County. And so as a practicing member, I'm reading now from the Fort Lauderdale Sun-Sentinel, Broward Commissioner Barbara Sharif has a closer perspective than other local politicians on the killing of terrorism master Osama bin Laden.
Okay.
As a practicing member of the Islam faith,
All right.
who said she had support from the Muslim community in Broward during her election last year,
Okay.
Sharif said she's familiar with the misconceptions people have of Islam because of Osama bin Laden. Okay.
All right.
Now, she is an elected official. And Osama, who was a sheikh, he had advanced to the point of mastering theology, Islamic theology. He was the leader of Al-Qaeda.
Okay.
He's written fatwas. He's given pronouncements and statements about Islam worldwide.
He's also a warrior.
He's a warrior, which is part and parcel of Islam.
Well, that's part of what Muhammad was, a warrior.
Yes, warlord.
But according to Barbara Sharif, Mayor
Mayor Sharif.
of Broward, Mayor Sharif, Osama didn't quite understand Islam.
Islamic doctrine.
Yeah, he didn't. Osama bin Laden did not understand Islamic doctrine. Isn't this insane?
Well,
What?
you know.
What is insane?
Well, that she did. What that? What that? Who? What? Everything's insane about this.
I mean, again, take all the emotion out of this. And folks, what we're doing right now at 30 minutes after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I think this is the first time I've been in the studio and said after 3 o'clock. I don't think I've been in the studio since the time change.
Yeah, you.
30 minutes after 3 o'clock, WNN. If you're in Florida, driving your car anywhere in South Florida, or anybody have an AM radio in their house anymore?
In her car. I better listen in the car.
Does anybody listen to AM radio in their house?
I don't.
I
I got
can admit
iHeart.
that I do. Like
have
after
iHeart.
Dolphins games, I'll flip it on and hear the
I still do
AM
the iHeart
bashing
in the
of
house.
the Dolphins.
I like the
I
iHeart
wake up
thing.
to it actually. The alarm goes off, and It's,
Okay.
but if you're buying AM radio, you can tune in to WNN 1470 AM. All you people driving in your car, if you're listening to me on another station right now, switch to 1470.
Wait a second. Are you confusing me?
Okay. All right. That's hard to do, but if you're on 1470, don't switch to another
Ever.
station
Ever,
right now.
yeah.
Ever. Stay there. And if you want to see the joviality, is that a word? Joviality?
Jocularity?
Jocularity of our show, and you want to see Mark's, I don't know, Tommy Bahama shirt, or what is
No, it's my Wright Brothers shirt.
your Wright Brothers
That's
shirt?
my
What is
Wright
it?
Brothers shirt. I'll show you.
I don't get all wrapped up in, oh,
It's Wright Brothers shirt.
oh, where'd you get that? Did you go to Kenny
Kitty Hawk?
Bunkport, or wherever
Kitty
they
Hawk.
flew
Kitty
from?
Hawk. That's the reason I got it. Was at Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk, not Kenny Bunkport?
No, Kitty
Okay.
Hawk. Kill Devil Hill.
Mark's a former pilot,
Yes.
but you can fly.
We had that discussion with a little kid yesterday
What happened?
about Mark being a pilot.
What
Well,
kid?
okay.
We met that little kid at Target, and
Oh,
he
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to go
yeah.
flying, and we
Yeah,
said,
friend
"Oh,
of
we have
ours.
someone for you to go flying."
I wasn't there. I
We
wasn't
said, don't fly with Mark. Whatever you do, don't fly.
there. I'm very safe.
Let him get a couple more hours.
There are old pilots and there are bold pilots.
Yeah. That's right. Old pilots and bold
There are no
pilots.
old bold pilots.
But if you're listening on WNN 1470 or watching on TrentoVision.tv or the United West TV, the UnitedWest.org, what we're doing right now is identifying, and we're gonna do further research on this. A very interesting development in a key county in a very key state, third largest state
Right.
in the union, a state with many military bases, a state with 1,300 miles. 1,300 miles. We have more coastline than California. California has 800 miles.
Okay.
We're second in the nation with 1,300 miles of coastline. Guess what state is first in the nation with coastline? And coastline,
Alaska.
he got it. He
Tried to
got
trick
it.
him.
He got
Tried
it.
to trick him.
5,000 miles of coastline because it's all over the place.
Right.
But obviously, coastline is a vulnerability regarding terrorism and
Yeah, if you look at the
entrance.
coastline, you can actually see it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
go out there
you
and
know.
see it. Yeah, look. And everybody always thinks California has
Point,
more.
Mark. Show it to us.
No, right over there.
Yes, you would think California does because it's a longer state, but we got
We got-
two sides.
Yes,
We're
that's
peninsula.
part of being a peninsula.
Yeah,
That's part
that's
of being
cool.
a peninsula.
That's cool.
And so technically, so is Alaska, and that's the region. It's longer.
And the point we're making right now in terms of national security, because of the Islamic threat doctrine and the county of Broward in South Florida being significant in that area, we've had many confrontations with jihadi Muslims in Broward County, on the streets of Broward County.
Really?
You mean in Fort Lauderdale, where they were telling the Jews to go back to the ovens?
Yeah.
That one?
What you think
That
about that, Imam?
I was not there. I was.
Oh, he's going to plead the
town.
fifth on this one, isn't he?
I was not
He's
there,
gonna-
so I am. I did not. But I'm sure the Jews did something to incite that kind
I'm
of
sure they
behavior because that is what they always do.
I
So
was
it's the
there
Jews' fault.
December 30th, 2008.
It's always the Jews' fault.
Yes.
December 30th, 2008, holding a video camera, and a bunch of jihadis were yelling, "Jews, Jews, back in the oven, nuke 'em, nuke 'em." And it's online, you can find
Nuke,
it.
nuke Israel.
But that only
but,
has one
but
over
our
1
point
million
right
hits.
now, 35 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 21st of November, Thursday, 1 week, folks, before.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Who does the atheist thank on Thanksgiving?
Corn gods.
Corn gods.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. Corn cob.
Because they don't
gods.
believe him in any way. They just.
What we're doing right now is we're introducing an investigation we are going to initiate. The investigation is going to be into Barbara Sharif, who's the new mayor of Broward County. There she is, very attractive woman. African American, I believe, right? Would you
Yes.
think? I think she has some Jamaican in her because some of the news reports said, I want to read one deal. I don't want to get into her now. We're going to investigate her because there's some anomalies regarding her Islamic faith and her Islamic acceptance of her faith.
Right.
But we do know that a terrorist organization, CARE, Council on American Islamic
That's right.
Relations.
Yes. My good friend Nazar piped in on this. No?
Nazar Hamzi piped in.
Oh, he did. What did he say?
This is the best thing that's happened since sliced bread. You know.
So you have a terrorist organization supporting the mayor of.
Yes. But he did it this way. It was very slick. He said, Broward County has a Jew for its sheriff,
Okay.
and now a Muslim for its mayor.
Oh, this
Diversity
is
is what
perfect. Diversity, culture, interfaith. This is what we have.
All right, now listen to this. Let me read this. This is from Chris Zadie, and he gives his phone number here in the Sun Sentinel on the same article yesterday, day before, announcing Barbara Sharif as the new mayor of Broward County. He says, this is going out to all my friends that helped me with my campaign for Broward County Commissioner last year. So it's 2013 now. The election was November 2012.
All right.
My opponent, Barbara Sharif, so Chris Zadie, Z-I-A-D-I-E, Chris Zadie, there it is up on our screen, ran against Barbara Sharif last year. Get the facts in order. My opponent, Barbara Sharif, who is now elected as your Broward County Commissioner, has just officially announced that she is a practicing
Christian.
Muslim.
Oh.
She just announced that she's a practicing Muslim a couple of days ago.
Okay.
During the campaign last year, November 2012, she passed herself off as a, he has in quotes, Christian to all the churches she visited. She even passed herself off as being from Jamaica in order to get the support of the Caribbean community. If you recall, I outed her on the Jamaican lie on the radio because I could prove she was not a Jamaican. Some of you wanted me to out her as a Muslim, but I had no solid proof and refused to run that type of campaign. Then he goes on to say, however, here is the proof, and even though I'm not running against her, I wanted the facts to be known. And he cites an article saying that she has confirmed that she is a practicing Muslim.
Did she come out and say she was a Christian, or do we know?
He says she did. So this is the investigation we need to
So
launch.
she ran as a Christian Jamaican.
Right? To
And
get elected.
she's neither.
That's the big question. The United West will launch an investigation.
All right, does anybody out there in our listening audience have any definitive statement or proof that she ran as a Christian Jamaican and that she lied, basically defraud? Oh, wow. This is sounding really familiar.
Another Democrat committing fraud.
She committed fraud, lying to the public to get into office. Now,
That's the question.
is there any criminal offense to this?
It'd be very interesting if she's on record in representing herself as a Christian to audiences November 6, 2012. And today, she says she's a Muslim. There's a couple of explanations. What could have happened?
Conversion.
She could have converted.
Did you ever meet with her?
I have never. I met her very briefly one time at a Democratic event in the Delray Beach area, maybe a year or two ago when she was still the commissioner. I met her with some animal named Joe Citizen.
Oh.
Yes, he's
Now-
a gigantic
Now, did he,
Islamophobe of a man.
Did she have a hijab on then at that time?
No.
It's possible she converted from Christianity to Islam from November to today, a
Okay,
year.
possible.
But it
But-
says she grew up in a Muslim family, my friend.
Yeah, we have a little problem with the report.
Well, hey, hold on. Our president grew up in a Muslim
Oh, that's
family.
right. And he's a Christian
Very
now.
good point.
Our president grew up in a Muslim family and then went to Christianity. Apparently-
Unrecognizable by me, a Christian.
black, what is it, the black separation theology? What is it called?
Black liberation.
Oh, I'm sorry,
theology.
same thing.
Separation is the same thing, believe me.
The black separation theology. And so maybe she's, another, Barack Obama. Maybe she's.
So she was a Muslim, then she converted to Christianity,
become,
ran for office, got elected, then converted back to Islam.
and now she's
Possibly.
a black separatist.
You think we can get to the bottom of this? in our home,
We
on
have
our
no
own property,
resources.
our own soil? I think we can.
No.
Oh, there
Barbara,
must be some people
We're
that
going to take
know.
a peek, Barbara,
All right.
into your life, okay?
Okay.
You can't play games like that, sweetie.
Yeah. And especially when you come up on the radar with our good terrorist buddies down there, CARE, if you're starting a court with them, that's the reason you're coming on our radar.
Yeah.
You could be a Muslim, we could care less, but when you start getting red carpet treatment from CARE, that's a big red
Yeah,
flag.
and you get
to
our
us.
attention on that one, okay? So Nizar, we're going to be giving you a call too, I'm sure.
Hello,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah.
All right, folks, 41 minutes after 3 o'clock. The United West, our show here, we investigate these sort of situations. And what we'd be looking for here is whether or not she misrepresented herself in an effort to get elected as a Democrat. And, that's never happened before. That would be a first for
That'd be a
Democrats.
first. That would be a first.
That would be a first. But as Mark said, once CARE weighs in, then you get our attention. And again, we do not hate Muslims by any means. A Muslim is an individual who happens to be, in my view, entrapped in a failed system of Islam. It fails in terms of understanding human nature. It fails in terms of a political structure. It fails in a religious structure, in an end-time structure. It's a complete failure as a system. But you're more than welcome to believe that stuff if you want. But if you operationalize the threat doctrine of Islam, if you take some of the doctrinal verses and doctrinal concepts and you put them into operation beyond belief and you behave in a particular way, now you've crossed the line and become seditious and you violate federal law and you get our attention too. So we're going to take a look at this lady, see what's going on. But we also want to jump now overseas, Mark and Damon and Abdullah, to Hamid Karzai, right? President Karzai there.
What's he up to?
He's just a grand old guy. Used to be a doorman in New York, in Manhattan.
Get out.
He was a doorman in Manhattan.
He's risen. Hey, that's fantastic. I'm glad
Obama
to
was
see it.
doorman in Hawaii.
And there they are, the two doormen on the screen.
There you go.
Look, he used to be an enigma. Hamid Karzai, the president of Afghanistan, used to be an enigma in the early days, and he was the best bet because he was educated in the West, lived in America. He was the best bet for the agency, the CIA, to find somebody to build some sort of political entity around and get some stability in Afghanistan, 2001, 2002. Now, the chickens are coming home to roost. When you pick this guy, today he told Obama and the United States, go screw yourselves, basically.
Oh, after how many billions of dollars went floating over his way? How much security? How many people died?
Aaron Vaughn died. We talked about that earlier. And this clown, Karzai, has the balls to say the stuff that we're going to show you. What he forced Obama to do. This is reprehensible. What we're going to read to you right now, folks. But this is the bizarre world we live in. We do a presentation. We were in Nokomis. My grandmother, Nokomis. Nokomis,
I'm surprised
Florida.
nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that.
I did.
I was surprised too. We were speaking in Nokomis, and I introduced, when I started the presentation, I said, hello, my grandmother. Hello, my grandmother.
I thought someone was going to throw a shoe at you for a minute.
I know.
I thought they.
I could,
Never mind. I'm not
hello,
gonna
my
make any age
grandmother.
comments.
And no one got it. But Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote the poem of Hiawatha. And Hiawatha's grandmother was Nokomis, which is where this name came from, of this little town. Nobody knew that, except me, because
you're a scholar.
Because I know that kind of stuff. Yeah,
So
I know how to
smart,
look a
Trento.
name. I know how to look a name up on the internet.
You know how to Google.
Hey, at least they don't in Jordan.
That's right. We were in Jordan a month ago, and we were praying. I was praying.
Oh, thank God.
Don't look my name up on the internet. Don't look
Google.
my name up on the
Google.
internet.
Go down, Google.
I hope you don't have the internet here.
And
They
they
were
did.
hoping it was as slow as it was in Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So we were there, and we said that. What am I talking about? I forget what I'm talking about.
Oh, we were in Tacoma. She said that in Jordan and where
Oh.
Karzai.
Karzai, but I was connecting Karzai. It doesn't matter. I'll figure a way out of this dilemma.
Welcome back, Tom.
Yes, I'll figure a way out of this dilemma.
He's a little out of practice.
little out of
It's been a
practice.
Hey,
while.
look at this over here.
I'm President Obama.
Yeah. Oh, we want to pound Obamacare,
Oh, we
but
do.
let's do Karzai right now, because this is today's news, and we're trying to get a status agreement. Status agreement, folks, is okay. You guys are going to leave. Americans are going to leave, but we need to agree to the status, the legal status that the American soldiers who remain behind have. And right now, there's a big, gigantic battle over whether or not U.S. troops who stay behind, because we all know what's going to happen when the troops pull out.
Well, Al Qaeda and every other dirtbag, misogynistic organizations come in and start beating the women, pillaring the society. It's just going to be nothing but a big chaos mess.
It's going to be a mess. We obviously deal with many military people who are in theater and back, and almost to everyone says, we lost this war, we haven't fought it properly. The Afghan troops that we're training are a complete joke.
Right.
They are going to cave in to the Taliban, the true believers.
Yes.
They're going to cave in. They're not going to fight them. They're going to switch sides. They're going to switch sides.
That's exactly what Billy was talking about on
this is
Saturday
not-
at the Tea Party Fort Lauderdale event. Did you hear that, Danita? Tea Party Fort Lauderdale,
I
not Fort
changed
Lauderdale
it in
Tea
the,
Party.
I changed it on the website.
This is not rocket science, Tom. These people are animals. They treat their women like animals. Everything they do is animalistic. Why would they do anything else when you just throw them out red meat? They're going to eat it. That's what they do. This is how they're trained. It's what their culture is, and this is what their society trains them to do. They have no other option. This is the only thing they know how to do.
And in terms of our theory that Islam is a failed system, Afghanistan has been practicing Islam for 1,000 years, 1,200
Right.
years, and it is the definitive graphic illustration of a failed system. It is Islam all the way through, from its loya jirgas to its Sharia compliance to its punitive elements of dispensing justice, cutting hands off, and stoning, and honor killing, and
here's the nutshell. People always think poverty breeds these Islamic terrorists, or what they call them. No, Islam breeds poverty, and the terrorists come out of that impoverished society because of Islam. Islam is whenever you see a society come in that was once one thing and then becomes Islamic, the whole society goes into the toilet.
You know what? I'd like to just say, thinking of religions, if you were to take someone that's not very religious, not very knowledgeable about the history of religion, and you were to say, what seems like a more ancient, medieval, archaic religion? Islam or Christianity? Would you not think, due to the barbarity and the third worldness of Islam, that you would think that it predates Christianity just because of the sheer
Good point. Very
barbarism
interesting
and the
point.
lack of science involved? Christianity seems so much more advanced, yet it came almost 700 years prior.
yeah, it's a very, very good point, and we don't have time on this show to
Delve into that.
to explain why, but it's a doctrinal basis for it. One doctrine is rooted in and does not want to surpass the 7th century. It's living in a culture that has been defined as to what it should be, following the life of Muhammad. And another culture, the Judaish, Jewish, Christian worldview, the doctrine there is to maximize the skills that God has placed within each individual. So that's another conversation, but I
real
want to
quick-
get to this letter right now.
Real quick, thou shalt not think is the basis of all Islam. Christianity and everything else, you must inquire and go in depth into your thought. That's the huge difference, other than that it's just
Significant
Go ahead, Tom.
difference.
Sorry.
All right, today, the 21st of November, Tom Trento here, J. Mark Campbell, CJ's taking a day off. We'll be here tomorrow for our special, our JFK special show. We'll have people weighing in as to where they were. We'll get a little nostalgic tomorrow. But today, on the 21st, a letter was written by the President Barack Obama. And I'm going to read you the letter. It's written to Hamid Karzai. Hamid Karzai. I'm calling him Hamzi, and these are Hamzi. Hamid Karzai, and it's written because Hamid Karzai told Obama, look, I'm not giving you permission to have any troops go into any of our homes ever. I said, suppose one of our guys gets kidnapped and we need to go into the home. No, and Kerry said, well, it's a deal breaker. So Karzai wanted a letter of apology from President Obama. I'm going to read you the letter right now. Here we go. Dear Mr. President Karzai, this is President of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. I, President Barack Obama, am pleased that
But Islam has nothing to do with it.
I am pleased, Barack Obama speaking, we have reached an agreement on the text of a bilateral security agreement that will enable the United States and Afghanistan to implement the promise of our strategic partnership. This is a strong agreement for both of our countries, which provides the foundation to continue our cooperation to build a better, he sounds like he's campaigning, for Afghanistan. It provides the basis for cooperating in a new context after 2014, when the International Security Assistance Force mission will have ended. The number of U.S. forces will be much reduced, and a sovereign Afghanistan will be responsible for its security, with the role of the international community, with the support of the international community. In that context, America's role in Afghanistan will be one of a supporting partner. Under this agreement, we will be cooperating in the training, advising, and assisting of your forces and in a targeted smaller counterterrorism mission as we continue to help strengthen Afghanistan's own growing counterterrorism capabilities. We look forward to concluding this agreement properly. Now, that's that. Now, Robert Spencer is going to explain this for us. We will be cooperating and training, advising, and assisting your forces, i.e., there will continue to be green on blue attacks. Green Afghanistan attacking blue Americans. I know that you have been concerned for some time to limit the impact, Obama again speaking, of the conflict in Afghanistan on the Afghan people, with particular attention to the sensitive issues of the safety and privacy of people in their homes. Over time, and especially in the recent past, we've redoubled our efforts to ensure that Afghan homes are respected by our forces. Now, this is Taliban homes, Taliban leaders. We have to go in and respect them. American troops aren't breaking into peaceful Afghanis, and there are peaceful Afghanis that want nothing to do with it.
Very many.
We continue to make every effort to respect the sanctity and dignity of Afghans in their homes and their daily lives, just as we do for our own citizens. Oh, yeah. Many of my countrymen and women have given their lives or have been seriously wounded in the pursuit of protecting Afghans, and we honor the enormous sacrifices they have made side by side with Afghans. Many of my countrymen and women have given their lives and have been seriously wounded by the Afghan allies, side by side in pursuit with protecting Afghans. U.S. forces shall ever continue to serve as a shooting gallery, Spencer says, for our punitive Afghan allies. The U.S. commitment to Afghanistan independence, territorial integrity, and national unity, as enshrined in our strategic partnership agreement, is enduring, as is our respect for Afghan sovereignty. All right, now this is dripping with Diplo speak. Robert Spencer writes a short, beautiful letter saying this is what the president should have written. And we salute Robert Spencer with what he says here. Dear Mr.
I
President,
hate that man very much.
I know you do. Our mission in Afghanistan is pointless.
That's right.
Great first sentence, Robert. Our mission in Afghanistan is pointless. It will never be a stable, pluralistic republic. We have lost thousands of lives, wasted billions of dollars, and the Islamic supremacists of the Taliban are growing ever stronger. You have invited them to participate in elections and in the government, only reinforcing how pointless our mission is there.
Exactly.
What's more, you have done nothing to stop the ongoing jihad attacks by your own forces, or jihadis who have infiltrated those forces against American troops who are training them. Enough! I will not be responsible. This is what Robert Spencer is saying the President of the United States should have written. I will not be responsible for the wanton shedding of more American blood in pursuit of the fantasy of Afghanistan as a reliable U.S. ally. You want more American aid? Put your military at girls' schools to stop them from being blown up.
Right.
Encourage the education of women. Protect their equality of rights.
Check.
Contact that last remaining Afghan Jew. Give him police protection. Encourage him to invite his family and other Afghan Jewish exiles back into the country. Provide protection for the remaining Afghan Hindus and encourage Afghan non-Muslim exiles to come back. They will enrich your country far more than American dollars ever could do. But if and only if you want to protect American rights, religious minorities, you can have those dollars. Well, at least a few of those dollars. We are leaving immediately, but will continue to strike against jihad terror camps and other facilities when necessary. Sincerely, President Obama. P.S. Don't expect any more bags of cash from the CIA either. Good job, Robert Spencer, responding. What do you think of that, Mark?
All I got to say is, Damon, pull up my picture. Remember that picture on the left? Time magazine, Afghan girl, beautiful, green eyes, red, shawl. This is before Afghan, even before we went in. That's her on the right. She is 34 years old.
Wow.
This is what happens to beautiful young women in the Islamic culture in Afghanistan. They go from that to that.
This is your daughter? This is your daughter on Islam.
That's right.
This is your
This
daughter.
is what happens. This is the net result. Everything goes back to Islam, goes back Islamic. And when you go back to Islam, women die. Women actually commit suicide at a far higher rate than any other culture. And it is, you go back to war, you go back to tribalism.
So it's the 7th century. Now, Robert Spencer's point, our point as we close this up here, is that right now we are negotiating, folks, a status agreement, and there seems to be some agreements that have been reached. Don't bet on that, because Karzai said, even if we do reach this agreement, our elections are in April, and I'm running for re-election, so I'm not going to sign this until after April. The guy is blackmailing the United States.
Right.
We need to cut everything, get out of there, and say, look, we're going to bomb the hell out of you if you cause any trouble. It's that simple. General Paul Vallely has the lily pad concept where we can launch devastating attacks if people try to hurt us.
We don't know what devastating attacks are anymore.
No, we don't know that anymore.
No, we don't.
None of this is going to happen with this administration.
It's hard to devastating.
But stay
when
tuned.
some-
Stay tuned. We got to leave right now. Stay tuned.
We got a minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Oh, we started 1 minute after?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a minute.
We got a whole minute,
We
man.
got a whole minute. It's a lifetime.
Okay.
If your co-hosts would quit talking and everybody else could, you probably could actually say some
we're
words.
okay. We got a lot of time left. Now the issue is very simple, and the beauty of this show today, where we started with Karen and Billy Vaughn, who lost their SEAL Team 6 in the Wardunk province. There's Extortion 17 on the screen.
Right.
Tangi River Valley, going after Operation Lefty. Fascinating story. You can look it up. He died, Aaron, because of the misapplication of the rules of engagement and misunderstanding of the Afghanis and their commitment to anything that's smacks of democracy or a republic. So we're going to stay on this story, obviously, and we're going to bring you more information from Hamid Karzai. And we thank you for tuning in today. We got to go right now. Tomorrow. What do you got?
I'm ripping off CJ's name tag.
Oh, tomorrow, our special on Where Were You on November 22nd, 1963.